Hi, Dr. Suzanne here. Welcome back. I am recording in the secret cabinet in the Naples Archaeological Museum in Italy. And this particular room, this particular exhibit that I will share some of the pictures of, was very, what's the word I want? It was embarrassing when they discovered in Pompeii in the 1800s, and they did excavations in Pompeii, and they found these exhibits of very sexually explicit scenes in frescoes and in statues of phallic symbols, etc. And what's fascinating about this is, again, where we are today, and the fact that in the 1800s, they literally closed up this museum. They walled it up. They were so embarrassed. And they allowed, and over time, men to have special permission to come into this exhibit. And they also, at one point, they actually built what did they build? A wall. They walled it up with brick. And in the year 2000, it was open for good. Well, from this point that we're alive, it's open for good. Who knows what will happen in time, but it's open right now. And it's just very interesting, again, as a depiction. I'm going to share with you an image of a woman, a naked woman. There's a lot of people over there at the moment, but what I want to say about that, this woman, is her expression of her sexuality. And if you watched my earlier video about the sculptures that were depicting women who were naked, the sculptures showed women in a sense of embarrassment over their body. And here, when it was involving sexuality, women felt their essence was shown in a beautiful, beautiful way. So let's just take a look here. There's two images I want to show you around women and their sexuality. This one here. So this woman here, if you notice her expression of her beauty, the way she expresses herself is much different than the sculptures downstairs where the women were covering their genitals and covering their breasts. Here with sexuality and sensuality, women were expressive. Here we have a statue of a woman. Here her breasts are adorned in gold. Her belly button has a star, if you notice, is painted. Her genitals are also in gold. And again, we're in a position of sexuality for women being adorned. But nakedness, unless it's in the realm of sexuality, for women it wasn't adorned. Where we see a continual theme for males, for men, of whether it's in erotic imagery or it's in stances and positions of confidence. So here we see these were fountains with the phallic symbols of men having holes in them. I mean, some of the phallic symbols actually were part of fountains, others were not. But the phallic symbol was represented all throughout ancient Rome. Whether it was, and then the acts of sex were also depicted in the bedrooms of many homes. And well, this in particular was all found in Pompeii, as I mentioned, where it was embarrassing for the discoveries while they were very excited about. Here's an image here of a sex act where they were very, again, excited about doing the excavation. They weren't excited about what they found. So let me see if I can take you around the corner, and maybe we'll take a look at a couple more things. There is the image of Pan having intercourse with a goat, which, the animal, like we call it bestiality, is totally unacceptable in our society. Even I feel uncomfortable with that. I mean, I can show it to you, and here you see it's Pan is his name, and he's copulating with a goat. And here again is this frescoes, and I'm not sure these are related. I don't know exactly how, but these were popular images in not just in Pompeii, but also they were depicted also in gardens, which I didn't know. So let's go over here. You'll see, let me turn this camera around. Here you see like a group, pygmies, they were called pygmies in this. There's an act of sex happening in the center, and the pygmies, some are watching, some are like, you can tell in this scene, it's a natural part of their life. Sexuality was celebrated. And that, I think, is what is different in our society, and particularly because I deal with sexual problems, mainly focused with women, but also, with men. I mean, I heard recently of a man who went to the emergency room because he couldn't have an erection. I mean, that is the epitome of the feeling of feeling sexual inadequacy and how it affects our body, that it is significant. So let's see what else we have here. But the gardens, again, this talks about the gardens and how the features of the gardens were human sculpture and naturalness, again, with sexuality. Here are, again, some images of frescoes. And here again, let's take a look at these women. Here we have women, again, adorning in a sensual way, where their postures are much different than the postures in a sculpture. And there's a lot of people here, so I apologize for the noise. We have another sculpture here. This woman here who's partially covered. Here we have another image and another bestiality, as we would call it today, of, I'm not sure who this is, but having sex with a swan. And this was in another image here, a man and a woman. So I found it to be